Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is Cafe Improv. It happens on the fourth Saturday of every month. We're so pleased to be back here. We weren't here last month.
That's right. We weren't. We were very respectful of
So I don't know if you guys watch the show. It is broadcast on Monday nights and on Wednesday or Thursday mornings.
On Princeton TV,
Princeton
which
TV,
has become
known. Yes, it's CNJN. So
yeah.
it's so CNJN stands for Central New Jersey Network. We won't talk about why they changed their name, but that's what they're called now, and we're excited to be part of the show.
That's
of
right.
The network, of the
right.
TV show.
And I guess I should do a little introduction of the song here. Is that we were trying
All
to think
right.
about why are we doing this?
Mary told me that she wanted to do this song.
Yes, I did. We changed the lyrics a little bit, but yeah, just the fact that there's been still a lot of people that are getting sick and actually dying of COVID, and one of our neighbors was one of those people, and it's just we just got to remember that there's still 2,000 people a day across the U.S. that are dying of COVID, and it's just we want to remember those people and just be thankful for the health that we have, and thank you everybody for wearing your masks and keeping everybody else healthy.
We didn't establish that we are warm-ups.
That's right. Yes,
we're
the warm-up
people.
We make the rest of the acts sound really good.
Our purpose is to make everybody can't wait for the first act.
Okay.
We got it?
Okay.
Oh, we made it all the way through the song.
Thank you for your patience. Thank you.
All right. So now that's the part where we're going to hand the little piece of paper. Oh, you got the little piece of paper.
Yes, I have got the little piece of paper.
Okay.
And you want me to talk a little bit?
Go
I
ahead.
can. I'm going to hand this back to you. Okay, well, here we are, Cafe Improv. This is at the fourth Saturday of every month, and we are delighted to be able to introduce Kyle Singh. Kyle is originally from Hicksville, New York. Kyle is a grad student at Princeton studying physics. Kyle's longtime collaborator, Austin Reed, is studying atmospheric science at George Mason University. He's joining him this evening, and tonight they will share several new compositions with us because we love singer-songwriters. So come on up, please.
We're going to set you up.
Yes.
Move you in.
Woohoo! And I'll get this out of your way.
I wake up in the middle of the night, thinking of what's to come, and that I've never recognized all that you have done. The morning comes with thoughts to myself, my dreams come undone, and they're gone in the nick of time, and we're gone in the nick of time. You've had that appellation voice since you were born. When you've started singing, it would always cause a storm. And I just sit and listen, teardrop in my eye. It was gone in the nick of time. It was gone in the nick of time. I feel the love all around me. I feel the love. Taken by the stories you told me when I was a kid, of the knight in shining armor who would come to save the day. And I just sit and wonder, I was a hero for the first time. I was gone in the nick of time, you know, I was gone in the nick of time. You had made your decision to finally leave home. In the only place we wanted to be, you suddenly felt alone. I saw you for one last time, and then I wished you well. We were gone in the nick of time. We were gone in the nick of time. I feel the love all around me. I feel the love. Have you ever stopped and listened to the sound of your own voice? I've tried it and it scares me to death, so I turn off all the noise. But I just want to keep going, I want to see what's to come. I'll be gone in the nick of time, you know, I'll be gone in the nick of time. I've often sit and wondered what it'll be like to be an old man. No need to worry, and no need for a plan. Will you still be there, or will you change your mind? Will you be gone in the nick of time? We'll be gone in the nick of time. We'll be gone in the nick of time, you know. We'll be gone in the nick of time. We'll be gone in the nick of time, you know. We'll be gone in the nick of time.
Yep, time to change the guitars out. Very important process of musicianship.
Guitars. So, as you heard in the intro, Austin and I are science students. We're actually old high school buddies reconnecting here. And we went through a hiatus of 2 years of not really writing. And these songs happened in 1 week during winter break.
More like one day.
We hope you like them because this is the first time we're playing them. So this song means a lot to me. The second song, yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I grew up in a small town where no one knew my name. I did the very best I could to play the simple game. I was walking down my old street, you looked me in the eye. I was reminded of all the times you tried. One big happy family, we knew it couldn't last. I was tempted by confessions to look back at the past. All the times I should have spoke that silence gave away. Like all the times you could have let me stay. And I try to come to terms with the things I would not see. And in all those single moments I struggle to be free. I have always wondered what we thought as little kids of the world that we would enter and the problems we would fix. I've walked and I have traveled for something to be found, alone in spite of people all around. To come to terms with the things I would not see. And in all those single moments I struggle to be free. I always had the feeling that time was on my side, until I woke up one day and then I recognized, as you took your last breaths beside me, held my hand one last time. Hidden dreams were trapped inside the edge of my mind. And I try to come to terms with the things I would not see. And in all those single moments I struggle to be free. Find myself on the edge of the shore of the sea with nothing more except your arms around me and the water changing course. You whisper all my secrets I never had to choose. Nothing can compare to the beauty of you. Send me a note from your holiday, find some time to call me and say that you miss me. And you'll see me someday on a rolling field when my hair's gone gray. I remember when we were kids with imaginary friends who were always tight-lipped. Your auntie and uncle who told me to stay when your old man ran away on that freight train. All that I wanna do is to come and understand the truth of why it is that people cry when they see the night sky, or when I look into your eyes. Send me a note from your holiday. Find some time to call me and say that you miss me. And you'll see me someday on a rolling field when my hair's gone gray. I remember when we were kids with imaginary friends who were always tight-lipped. Your auntie and uncle who told me to stay when your old man ran away on that freight train. All that I wanna do is to come and understand the truth of why it is that people cry when they see the night sky, or when I look into your eyes. I don't know where we go when we die. Do we turn into the light, a reflection in spite of the fact that we've been searching our whole lives? Write life's plan and recognize all the flashes of the still frames in your mind. One lifetime comes to define all the ways in which we love and we decide. And I'm bound for the mountains where my forefathers were born. Take your time, 'cause I'll be waiting, and the sweetness of your words stuck in my mind. I lost track of who I was, only to find it in the face of a nestled shrub, about to grow, about to spring. Was just with warm rain care, joy will it bring. I'm bound for the mountains where my forefathers were born. Take your time, 'cause I'll be waiting. The sweetness of your words stuck in my mind. I have searched the wilderness of what's inside, and I don't know what I'm hoping to find. And I'm bound for the mountains where my forefathers were born. Take your time, 'cause I'll be waiting. It's your time. The sweetness of your words stuck in my mind. The sweetness of your words stuck in my mind. This is our last short song, and you know, I just started school at Princeton, so it's so nice to get into the town, and he's the piano maestro. I'm not. So this is my first time playing piano in front of an audience, and I wrote this song 2 days ago. So please bear with me.
Bear with us.
And it's a song about, you know, I mean, we've all had loss, and you know, we're young, so luckily we haven't had too much loss yet, but still, it's a song about losing someone. Could also be a song about the events that are going on around the world right now. I don't know if the sun will come out tomorrow. I don't know for sure. I don't know if the sun will come out tomorrow. But one thing I know, I can say for sure, I'll be waiting for you. I don't know if the sun will come out tomorrow. Like all of the people in my past, I don't know if the sun will come out tomorrow. But one thing I know, I can say for sure, is that people, they last. All of the words I have spoken to you move through the wind and the fall. All of the seasons that come in a year, heard all the sequence of calls. I don't know if the sun will come out tomorrow. Like all of the memories in time, I don't know if the sun will come out tomorrow. But one thing I know, I can say for sure, I'll be waiting for you. For you. I'll be waiting for you.
Thank you very much.
Kyle, Singh, and Austin, thank you so much. Welcome to Cafe Improv. We've been doing this since 1990. We've been on TV since 1998. We're broadcast on Princeton TV, also known as CNJN. We're going to bring up Isabella Pombrio. And Mary, why don't you take this microphone for me and talk.
Isabella Pombrio is a 17-year-old currently working on releasing her first album. She has been singing for as long as she can remember, and she now writes her own original music, and we love original singer-songwriters here. Isabella is so excited to be performing tonight, and she can be found on YouTube as Isabella Pombrio, as well as on Instagram, so you can kind of see that in tonight's program. So Isabella, welcome to Cafe Improv here. I think you might want to have a little sound check moment there.
Yep. Give me a strum when you get a moment. Oh, there we go. Thank you. I think you're ready to roll. Ladies and gentlemen, we are extremely pleased to welcome to Cafe Improv Isabella Pombrio.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Again, my name is Isabella. I'm really excited to be here tonight. I've got a few songs for you guys. This first one is actually an original, and it's called Right Eye Crier. So you're a right-eye crier, and on the ground you walk on. It's nice to know the world's not out to get you. 'Cause baby, we're all liars. Life's never been fair. Our paths might never cross. I might never know you. Isn't that weird? I mean, isn't that weird? Do you still believe in love? Have you left the too small town? If we hold on to each other, it's the fastest way to drown. And the water's coming up. Make a choice and don't look down. If we hold on to each other, it's the fastest way to drown. I'm trapped inside this body. Let me in, let me out, let me look, let me down, let me run, let me drown, 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 let me. I don't believe in love. Love is a fairy tale. Tell me you get what you need or you make me sick. Can't this wait till tomorrow? Call in the morning. I'm blocking your number. I'll change the locks if I have to. Fate is a monster. Tell her you love her. Tell me you love her. So you still believe in love, but you stayed right here in town. If you hold on to each other, it's the fastest way to drown. And the water's coming up. Make a choice and don't look down. If you hold on to each other, it's the fastest way to drown. 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 I don't believe in love. Love is a fairy tale. Thank you. All right, we're gonna take it back a little bit to the 90s for this next one. This is a cover. This is Who Will Save Your Soul by Jewel. People living their lives for you on TV. They say they're better than you, and you agree. He says, oh, my girls from behind those cold brick walls. Says, come here, boys, there ain't nothing for free. Another doctor's bill, a lawyer's bill, another cute cheap thrill. You know you love him if you put him in your will, but who will save your soul when it comes to the flowers now? Who will save your souls after those lies that you told, boy? And who will save your souls if you can't save your own now? We try to hustle them, try to bustle them, try to cuss them. The cops want someone to bust down on Orleans Avenue. Another day, another doll, another war, another tower went up where the homeless have their homes. So we pray to as many different gods as there are flowers. We call religion our friend. We're so worried about saving our souls, afraid that God will take his toll, that we forget to begin. But who will save that you told, boy? And who will save your soul if you can't save your own now? Some are walking, some are talking, some are stalking their kill. Get social security, but it doesn't pay your bills. There are addictions to feed and there are mouths to pay. So you bargain with the devil, but you're okay for today. Say that you love me, take that money and run. Say it's been swell, sweetheart, but it's just one of those things, those flings, those strings that you got to cut. So get down on the street, girls, and bust your butts. Who will save your souls when it comes to the flowers now? Who will save your souls after those lies that you told, boy? And who will save your souls if you can't save your own now? Thank you. All right, so this next one is another original. This is called Call Me in the Morning. Tearing up all the pages of your favorite books, or at least I like to be. You never told me. You never told me. We're too young to be moving slow. Something about you makes me wanna know and be known. It's in your eyes, it's in the air when you look at me like that. I hardly have the time to care. We're just kids, so why don't we act our age? Set our world on fire and take a giant leap of faith. Call me in the morning when you get this, or when you have a chance to return my calls. I have a feeling I'll regret this. When we're born to die and I'll live to see those angels fall. It's too late, you won't pick up. I think you have my number saved, but I don't wanna test my luck. Tell me lies, I don't care, because someone's taking laughing gas and they're replacing all my air. We're just kids, so why don't we act our age? Set our world on fire and take a giant leap of faith. Call me in the morning when you get this, or when you have a chance to return my calls. I got a feeling I'll regret this. When we're born to die and I'll live to see those angels fall. Tearing up all the pages of your favorite books, or at least I'd like to be. You never told me. You never told me. Thank you. Okay, so for this next one, I'm actually going to be doing a cover of a cover. So this is Where Did You Sleep Last Night? My girl, Just tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines where the sun don't ever shine. Oh, I would shiver the whole night through. My girl, where will you go? I'm going where the cold wind blows. In the pines where the sun don't ever shine. I would shiver the whole night through. Well, her husband was a hard-working man, just about a mile from here. His head was found in a driving wheel, but his body, it never was found. My girl, don't lie to me. Just tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines where the sun don't ever shine. I would shiver the whole night through. My girl, don't lie to me. Just tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines where the sun don't ever shine. I would shiver the whole night through. My girl, where will you go? I'm going where the cold wind blows. In the pines, the sun to shine. I would shiver the whole night through. Thank you. All right, so while I get myself set up for this next one, this is going to be my last original. And a quick little funny story about this one. So I played this for somebody while I was still writing it, and they had told me that the song was too long, so I added another chorus because I didn't think it was long enough. Thank you. This is called Tragic Heroine. All our fatal flaws are killing us. Watch my teary eyes run dry. Have me home by now and never. It's tomorrow every time we say goodnight. And our local gods are holograms. With the way you looked at me, I'll be damned if I don't miss you. Bleeding lights down on the murder scene. But wishing stars and maybe dreamers who don't know what to do with broken hearts and clamshells they collect, waiting for the tide to wash up someone to love. If our flaws are tragic, I'll be your Ophelia. Our fatal flaws are breaking us, but I hope that you would stay. If this road went on forever, maybe then tomorrow's just another day. Wishing broken hearts and clamshells they collect, waiting for the tide to wash up someone to love. And our flaws are tragic, yes, I'll be Ophelia. You say I'm far too young to die, but I'm old enough to drive. Someday soon I'm gonna grow up, a rose in your grace, a thorn in my side. Burning daisies and backlots, wishing stars are made for dreamers who don't know what to do with broken hearts and clamshells they collect, waiting for the tide to wash up someone to love. And our flaws are tragic, yes, I'll be Ophelia. I know we're only burning daisies and backlots, so wishing stars are made for dreamers who don't know what to do with broken hearts and clamshells they collect, waiting for the tide to wash up someone to love. Our flaws are tragic, yes, I was Ophelia. Thank you. All right, so before I play my last song, I just wanted to say again, thank you so much. My name is Isabella Pombrio. I have buttons, stickers, and CDs outside. You can find me on YouTube at Isabella Pombrio and on Instagram at Isabella Pombrio Music. This is going to be my last song. Again, this is Somebody That You Used to Know. Now and then I think of when we were together, when you said you felt so happy you could die. I told myself that you were right for me. I felt so lonely in your company, but that was love and it's an ache I still remember. Or you can get addicted to a certain kind of sadness, like resignation to the end, always the end. When we found we cannot make sense, well, I found that we could still be friends. But I'll admit that I was glad that it was over. You didn't have to cut me off, make out like it never happened and that we were nothing. And I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger and that feels so rough. No, you didn't have to stoop so low, have your friends collect your records and then change your number. I guess that I don't need that though, 'cause now you're just somebody that I used to know. Somebody I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now and then I think of all the times you screwed me over, but I may believe it was always something that I'd done. And I don't wanna live that way, reading into every word you say. You promised you could let it go, and I wouldn't get you hung up on somebody that you used to know. You didn't have to cut me off, make out like it never happened and that we were nothing. I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger and that feels so rough. No, you didn't have to stoop so low, have your friends collect your records and then change your number. I guess that I don't need that though, 'cause now you're just somebody that I used to know. Somebody I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Thank you.
Isabella Pombrio. Thank you so much. You are unpluggable. Once again, she has recording CDs. I'm going to make you move over, Shelley. She has CDs and other sort of fun things in the back. What are your CDs selling for?
I would be accepting donations, but
Accepting donations. All right, very good. I will hook you up with a donation. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Once again, this happens once a month. We've been doing this since 1990. We've been on TV since 1998. Every Cafe Improv is a miracle. It's a true booth spectacle. It's all run by volunteers because we're nuts, and we know that the importance of what we're doing here. We're running a little tiny bit ahead, Mary. So I'm going to play a song. So unfortunately, this is a true story. This is written by my friend Preston, who is a performer here at Cafe Improv. And it's from the days when he had a real job, and his job was toxic waste dumping. He worked for the Mercer Rubber Company, and his job was about this song. Well, I remember it like it was yesterday. They handed me a pair of hip boots. They said, son, you better wear these things before your feet start turning blue. Well, I looked at the guy with the suit and the tie. I said, hey, what is that stuff? He said, it's none of your concern. But we got more than enough. Your basic tetrachloroethane mixed with acetone, alcohol solvent, and a little bit of silicone, gasoline and motor oil, and some sulfur to mix with carbon black. What you got's brown goo. Brown goo. Brown goo. Oh, we'd pump it out so we could dump it out in the woods behind the owner's house. What you gonna do with brown goo? Oh, now me and Fat Jack used to roll those barrels on up into the truck. And all the way to the woods we'd argue about who was gonna dump that stuff, and who was gonna take it easy up on that old truck's hood, because that stuff looked awful bad and it did not smell good. Your basic tetrachloroethane mixed with acetone, alcohol solvent, and a little bit of silicone, gasoline and motor oil, and some sulfur to mix with carbon black. What you got's brown goo. Brown goo. Brown goo. Oh, we'd pump it out so we could dump it out in the woods behind the owner's house. What you gonna do with brown goo? Now here's the punchline verse. Well, this went on for about a year when a local creek began to foam. DEP called the factory and they would not leave them alone. So now we take the stuff to the city dump by the Delaware River, and I thank the Lord above that the Champagne Brewery is upstream of brown goo. Brown goo. Oh, we'd pump it out so we could dump it out in the woods behind the owner's house. What you gonna do with brown goo? There we go. It's an original Preston Harrison song. I'm going to hand the mic over to Mary. There we go, Mary.
Thank you, Tommy. Love that brown goo. All righty. Well, we are getting ready for our next act, which is Eugene Harrity. His name is Eugene G. Harrity, but when he performs, just call him George. And George, you're welcome to come down while I'm speaking about you. He started playing guitar when he was 9 and then joined local bands in a church folk group. After high school, he played with several rock bands, and the Battle of the Bands at Beatle Fest was the most memorable event. That's when he decided to go solo. After 46 years as a custom cabinet maker, he's now spending a happy retirement playing guitar and singing songs. So this is pretty awesome. Oh, absolutely, George. Congratulations. And we are so glad that you're here at Cafe Improv and we can get a chance to hear all the wonderful songs that you've got. So, okay. All righty. Well, here we go then. We've got Eugene Harrity. Welcome.
Guitar and make it go va-boom. Now me and Berto fishing down in Truck River Bay, then we take the train south, Point Pleasant way, and we're eating lobster sushi and having some beer while we listen to the music from the B Street Band. I am retired. I am retired. I'm just strutting along, just playing my guitar and singing songs. Just like bingo is one too. I am retired. I am retired. I'm just strutting along, just playing my guitar and singing songs. I am retired. I am retired. I'm just strutting along, just playing my guitar and singing songs. Thank you very much. Adjustments. Thank you. I'd like to do a song now. A song by Jimmy Buffett, a song called Margaritaville. Living on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. All of the tourists covered with oil, strumming my 6-string on my front porch swing. Smell those shrimp, they're beginning to boil. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Searching for my lost shaker of salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's nobody's fault. Don't know the reason I stayed here all season with nothing to show but a brand new tattoo. But it's a real beauty, a Mexican cutie. How it got here I haven't a clue. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Searching for my lost shaker of salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's nobody's fault. I blew out my flip-flop, stepped on a pop top, cut my heel, had to cruise on back home. But there's booze in the blender, and soon it will render that frozen concoction that helps me hang on. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Searching for my lost shaker of salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's my own damn fault. Yes, and some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's my own damn fault. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now I'd like to do a song by the Beatles, a song called Hide Your Love Away. Here I stand, head in hand, turn my face to the wall. If she's gone, I can't go on, feeling 2 foot small. Everywhere people stare, each and every day. I can see them laugh at me, and I hear them say, hey, you've got to hide your love away. Hey, you've got to hide your love away. How can I even try? I can never win. Hearing them, seeing them in the state I'm in. How could she say to me, love will find a way? Gather round, all you clowns, let me hear you say, hey, you've got to hide your love away. Hey, you've got to hide hide your love away. Thank you very much. Thank you. So much for the cap. Anyway, I'd like to do a song now from a band that I was really influenced by when I was younger. A song by Creedence Clearwater Revival. A song called Lodi. Oh Lord, I'm stuck in the Lodi again. Just about a year ago, I set out on the road, seeking my fame and fortune, looking for a plot of gold. Well, things got bad and things got worse. I guess you know the tune. Oh Lord, I'm stuck in the Lodi again. Rode in on the Greyhound, now I'll be walking out if I go. I was just passing through, must be 7 months or more. I ran out of time and money, and looks like they took my friends. But oh Lord, I'm stuck in the Lodi again. The man from the magazine, he said I was on my way. Somewhere I lost connections, I ran out of songs to play. I came into town a one-night stand, looks like my plans fell through. But oh Lord, I'm stuck in the Lodi again. Now if I only had $1 for every song I sung, every time I had to play while people sat there drunk, you know I'd catch the next train back to where I live. But oh Lord, I'm stuck in the Lodi again. Oh Lord, I'm stuck in the Lodi again. Thank you very much. I'd like to do a song now by Poison, a song called Every Rose Has a Thorn. We both lie silently still in the dead of the night. Although we both lie close together, we feel miles apart inside. Was it something I said or something I did? Did my words not come out right? Though I tried not to hurt you, though I tried. But I guess that's why they say every rose has its thorn. Just like every night has its storm. just like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn, yes it does. I listen to your favorite song playing on the radio. You hear the DJ say love's a game of easy come and easy go. But I wonder, does he know? Has he ever felt like this? And I know that you'd be here right now if I could have let you know somehow. I guess every rose has its thorn, just like every night has its dawn, just like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Though it's been a while now, I can still feel so much pain. Like the knife that cuts you, the wound heals, but the scar remains. I knew I could have saved that love tonight if I'd known what to say. Instead of making love, we both made our separate ways. And now I hear you found somebody new, and that I never meant that much to you. To hear that tears me up inside, and to see you cuts me like a knife. I guess every rose has its thorn, just like every night has its dawn, just like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'd like to do one more song before I leave. I'd like to leave you with the words from the late, great Tom Petty. Won't back down. Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You could stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. Gonna stand my ground, won't be turned around. And I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, will stand my ground, and I won't back down. Well, I know what's right. I've got just one life in a world that keeps on pushing me around. Gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate it. Everybody have a safe trip home. Thank you.
Eugene, Harrity, thank you so much. This Cafe Improv happens on the fourth Saturday of every month. You are unpluggable. Let me unplug you. Once again, we are running a little bit ahead. We're going to call one of our crew members up here to play. Come on, Victoria. Come on, Victoria. Hi, there we go. And we're going to do a song in between this. Oh, Mary is doing some visuals. You're doing some visuals. We're ready. When are you gonna come down? When are you going to land? I should have stayed on the farm, should have listened to my old man. You know you can't hold me forever. I didn't sign up with you. I'm not a present for your friends to open. This boy's too young to be singing the blues. So goodbye, yellow brick road, where the dogs of society howl. You can't plant me in your penthouse. I'm going back to my plow, back to the howling all out in the woods, hunting the horny-backed toad. So I finally decided my future lies beyond the yellow brick road. So goodbye, yellow brick road, where the good of society howl. You can't plant me in your penthouse. I'm going back to my plow, back to the howling owl out in the woods, hunting the horny-backed toad. So I finally decided my future lies beyond the yellow brick road. Victoria!
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're going to hand the mic over to Mary to talk about Lou Maltby.
Lou has been an unusual poet because he's been a truck driver, a factory worker, an ACLU lawyer, college professor, logger, and soldier. He's ridden a camel across the Sahara. How many people can say that? Scuba dove the Great Barrier Reef. He's been helicopter skiing and rode a motorcycle through Cambodia. All these experiences appear in his poems. Lou's first book of poetry, Smiling Axes, is on Amazon. And Tommy, what can I do for you here? You're looking at me.
Good. We're just going to call Lou down.
Lou, come on down. Awesome. Okay, so we don't really have a major setup moment here at all.
We're ready.
We are ready to roll.
Well, thank you. I have a question for you all. What's the most common subject of poetry? What do poets write about the most? Love. Exactly. I've been in love once or twice. Didn't always work out, but I always got a good poem out of it. Like Akuriri, 81 degrees north. Wind whispered on the roof the day we rode the morning like a stallion and folded the night sky into bedsheets for our love. Bodies colliding like snowflakes under the northern lights. I like that poem so much, I forget that it didn't actually happen. It happened in my imagination, but the woman I was in love with broke up with me before we ever got to Iceland. But somehow it doesn't seem to matter in the end. I just like the poem anyway. The other woman I was in love with a couple of years later was Kathy. Didn't last long, maybe that's why the poem was so short. It's called Lost in the Tangled Forest of Your Hair. I ate my trail of breadcrumbs, not wanting to be found. Now, here comes the hard question. What's the second most popular theme of poetry? What do poets write about the second most? Death, that's good. You might be right about that, but it wasn't the answer I was looking for. War. As in, death of the ball turret gunner. From my mother's womb, I fell into the state, and I clung to her belly till my wet fur froze. 5 miles from Earth, far from her dream of flight, I awoke to black flak and nightmare fighters. They washed my body from the turret with a hose. Some of you know, I didn't write that. I wish I had. Randall Jarrell wrote that. If I'd written it, I'd be in a very big auditorium someplace. But I did write Echo Company, Fort Campbell, Tennessee. They took everything, even my hair, and welcomed me into the death machine. Lying beside strangers, brothers overnight, sleeping like a lover with an M16. Just another piece of meat wrapped in green, stuffed in a trash bag if luck runs out. My father thinks his son's a hero. I do not correct him. Do not say that I am only gazing at a meteor shower of tracers through barbed wire. That was a real moment. That one night in maneuvers, just crawling along, hugging the dirt to make sure we stayed clear of the machine gun bullets over our heads. And I went under the barbed wire, and I looked up, and there were hundreds of phosphorus-coated tracer bullets in the sky above me, so close I could almost reach up and touch them. And it was so damn beautiful, I just got lost. I dropped my M16, my helmet fell off, and I don't know how long I was there until somebody kicked me and told me to get the hell out of the way. And I like that so much because it just shows you that the transcendent moments of poetry sometimes come in the place that you least expect them. And sometimes war doesn't happen with words. I mean, with bullets. Sometimes it happens with words. Like Mr. PD, from when I was public defender in Philadelphia as a young lawyer. Knight errant in a cheap suit, butt sniffing the black-robed gargoyle perched on the bench. A bad actor, pretending to believe the blue perjury parade. I serve him up an easy one. 18-year-old kid caught hot wiring a car. First offense. He slams it into the upper deck. A year in Holmesburg prison. Suddenly a sorcerer. I conjure up unavailable witnesses and missing files with astonishing ease, stalling the tide of perjury until the clock runs out. Just another punch card day in the Justice Factory. Floor is slippery with invisible blood. And sometimes war and love can somehow get meshed together. As in no man's land. Huddled in trenches, worried creases on the land's dark brow, awaiting the order to advance, bayonets erect, and engage in carnal combat in no man's land, where bodies hang like Christmas ornaments on barbed wire, blood and semen mixing warily. Is that my time, Tom? No, keep going. Oh, okay. Well, let's go back to love. This is getting kind of dark. There's also the love we have for our kids, which is not romantic love, and love we have for just people that we know. My first year of law school, I had a friend who was just one of these people who always called you out to be more than you really were inclined to be. So I wrote this non-erotic love poem for him. It's called Keeping the Faith. With the ocean in your voice, you called me, diving deep together for shiny coins the masters scattered, straining at the cranky armor of the law, and exploring windy corridors of logic. Many windmills ago. Do you still bite into each new day like a fat red apple? Are dogs of doubt yapping at your heels? Does the wind still know your name? And of course, we all have our kids and love for our kids. I won't do one of all my kids, we'd be here a while. But here's Weekend Warriors. Valkyries in ponytails streak across the green, ball-seeking missiles of boisterous mayhem, giving everything for nothing in a sisterhood of sweat. After the whistle, bloodlust morphs to bon ami in a sea of warm beer. Warriors retreat to the library to struggle with Proust on a wine-sap afternoon high above the Hudson. Thank you.
You can keep going if you want to.
Oh,
You done?
okay. Well, I
up
got
to
2 more kids.
All right, good, go for it.
I call her Sunshine. She was born in a battleship gray health factory. Leatherneck nurses, hard as the potholed streets of Trenton. Once bright eyes dulled by too much seeing, called her the angel. She emerged from the section's maw, bloody as a boxer in the 15th round, smiling at the doctor as he struck the world's first blow. And I only got one more kid. Let's see if I can remember this one. Absalom, child of fire, heedless to earth dwellers, fearful murmurings, blind to your own frightening trajectory. Golden pinball in the asteroid machine, tap dancer in a minefield. We hold our breaths, praying you don't tilt.
Lou, wait. Thank you, Lou. Lou, once again, he has this wonderful book of poetry, which I
And if
attest
anybody
to.
actually wants the books, I'm going to be sitting outside later. Be happy to sell you one.
Yes, thank you so much, Lou Maltby. This is Cafe Improv. Have us on the 4th Saturday of every month. We've been doing this since 1990. We've been on TV since 1998. The show is broadcast on CNJN, formerly known as Princeton TV, on Monday nights at 8 o'clock.